Hello, everyone, and welcome. As a hotel AI expert, I'm really excited to be part of your online learning journey with Europe Hotel School. In today's hospitality world, success is about so much more than just great service. It's about having a smart strategy. So, over the next few minutes, we're going to dive in and build a framework that will help you create the kind of powerful client relationships that truly define a successful career. Ready? Let's get started. So, here's our game plan. We're going to break this down into 5 key parts. First, we'll talk about why engagement is so much bigger than a single sale. Then, we'll get into the bedrock of it all, building trust. From there, we'll cover the skills you need to master any interaction and how to turn that one meeting into a real, lasting partnership. And finally, we'll connect all the dots and see how this approach drives serious, sustainable business growth.
All right, let's kick things off with a really fundamental shift in how we think. In corporate hospitality, our job isn't just about filling rooms for one event. The real goal, the bigger prize, is building profitable long-term partnerships. This means we have to stop thinking transaction by transaction and start thinking about the entire relationship.
So, what do we actually mean when we say strategic client engagement? Well, here's the formal definition. It's a continuous process, and that word, continuous, is everything. This isn't a one-and-done deal. It's not about a single pitch. It's the ongoing, day in, day out effort of building real trust, constantly showing your value, and nurturing connections that grow into those durable, profitable alliances we're aiming for.
Every single successful client relationship is built on a solid foundation of trust. But here's the thing, that foundation isn't poured during your first meeting. Nope, it's carefully laid long before you even shake hands. And it all comes down to one thing, meticulous preparation.
Your prep really breaks down into 3 essential phases. First, you have to truly understand their business. What's their model? What are their goals? What industry trends are they dealing with? Second, you've got to identify the key players. Who's the decision maker with the budget? Sure. But just as important, who are the influencers whispering in their ear? And finally, dig into their past behavior. Look at their booking history, their budgets. What does that data tell you about what they really care about?
And this is exactly why all that research is so critical, because every client is different. A generic cookie-cutter pitch just isn't going to cut it. It shows you haven't done your homework. A personalized strategy, one that's built on solid research, that's not just a nice-to-have. It's absolutely essential for any kind of long-term success.
Okay, so you've done all your prep, you've done the deep dive. Now let's talk about what happens when you're actually in the room with the client. Your success in that moment comes down to mastering the interaction itself. It's all about the skills you bring to that conversation.
Now, this is such a powerful distinction. So many people are guilty of what we call passive hearing. You know what I mean? They're not really listening, they're just waiting for a gap in the conversation so they can jump in and say their piece. Active listening is the complete opposite. It's a real discipline. It's about a genuine desire to understand, asking smart questions to uncover needs they might not even be aware of, and making them feel heard. It's how you find out what really matters.
And of course, every interaction you have rests on these pillars of professionalism. Being on time, being prepared, that signals respect. Communicating clearly builds confidence. And ethical conduct, well, that's the bedrock of any long-term trust. But there's one on this list I really want to zoom in on, and that's emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence is basically your superpower for reading the room. It's about picking up on all those subtle cues, a slight change in tone, a moment of hesitation, a shift in body language. This skill is what allows you to pivot your approach in real time, to manage the conversation with empathy, and to build that genuine human rapport. And rapport, that's the currency of trust.
A great meeting is fantastic, but it's really just the beginning. It's the kickoff. The real work, the real art, is in taking that initial spark and carefully cultivating it into a strong, lasting partnership. This is all about playing the long game. Think of this journey as unfolding in stages. It all starts the second that meeting ends, with a quick, personalized follow-up. Fast forward 6 months, and you're not just a vendor anymore. You're proactively sending them useful insights about their industry. A couple of years down the line, if you do this right, you become something much more. A trusted, strategic advisor. They don't make a move without you.
And if you're ever wondering why this long-term focus is so important, well, the numbers speak for themselves. Just look at this. The cost to go out and get a brand new client, it's high. The cost to keep a loyal client you already have, super low. But the real story, the one that should get you excited, is that last bar.
The lifetime value of that loyal client absolutely towers over everything else. That right there is the business case for everything we're talking about.
So it's crucial to remember that your strategy can't be set in stone. It has to be a living, breathing thing. Why? Because businesses change, markets shift, and what your client needed last year might not be what they need next year. Your whole approach has to constantly evolve and adapt to stay valuable and relevant. All right, let's bring it all home. Let's connect all these pieces, the prep, the skills, the long-term relationship building, to what really matters, the hotel's bottom line. This is where all that hard work pays off in the form of real, sustainable growth. When you execute this framework, you create this incredible positive ripple effect. You get predictable revenue from all that repeat business. That in turn stabilizes your occupancy rates, and what happens then? Your profitability goes up. Over time, these strong partnerships build you a rock-solid market position and give you a major edge over the competition. So, to wrap it all up, our framework is this powerful combination of things. It all starts with that deep preparation and a commitment to active listening. It's built on clear, structured communication and relentless follow-up. And it's defined by being adaptable, always acting ethically, and constantly looking for ways to provide value that goes way beyond just making a sale. So I want to leave you with this one final thought to take with you. As you go out and build your careers, you face a choice in every single client interaction you have. You can treat it as just another transaction, or you can use this framework to make it something truly transformational for them, for your hotel, and for your own career. The choice is all yours.